Yesterday, October 9th, 2023, was the big Union Township Mall visioning session. It took place at Crossroads Church, not at the mall, because the mall and all of the owners of the 11 parcels that make up the mall area, all of them did not participate in any way whatsoever. They didn't send a representative. They were not part of any presentation, et cetera, et cetera. There were 32 total people at the mall visioning session. That is something on the order of 0.06% of the population of Union Township. And it failed to mention that the mall is all private property, that there are 11 parcels, and 5 of those parcels have complete veto rights over anything that would change at the mall. And those 5 include Kroger, J.C. Penney, Grandma's, Dillard's, and Hall Properties. I thought it'd be fun today to go over to the mall and film a little bit and show what's going on there. And look what happened to me when I tried to film in the mall. Oh,
Sir, you can't record in the mall.
why not?
That's private property. You're not allowed to record in the mall. Mall management told me to tell you you're not allowed.
And who are you?
I'm security.
And who are you?
Officer Butts, Mr. Butts.
Okay, and who's mall management?
Mall management, you can call them on Google, so if you Google it, you're not allowed to record in here, so I have to ask you to leave.
So I got kicked out of the mall while trying to film in the mall. So I'm just going to recycle the little bit of video I got before I got told I had to leave the mall for having filmed in there. I already mentioned that the visioning session only had 32 people, that it was not at the mall because the mall's not participating in any of this, and that none of it mentioned that there are 5 parcels, Kroger, J.C. Penney, Grandma's, Dillard's, and Hall Properties, that can stop anything from happening. In the actual session last night on October 9th, we learned a lot of little things. So one of the things that we learned, not from the presentation, but from people talking to people on the side, is that of the 5 people, J.C. Penney doesn't want any changes, so they're not participating because of that. And Dillard's, despite repeated attempts to engage, has completely refused to engage. I learned at the table that I was at, because there was this goofy table exercise, that Hall Properties is basically being abusive to the store owners since they have taken over. So there were 3 store owners in the group that I was at for the table exercise. And what I heard was that Hall Properties is already radically cutting back on maintenance of things that are already known maintenance issues. There was one store owner that told me they were unable to open because a $20,000 air handler that had been promised to be replaced was not replaced, and Hall Properties told them they're not doing it and that the store owner needs to pay the $20,000 to be able to open their store. From side talk, we also learned that Hall Properties has no intention of doing anything there for at least 6 months. And from their own emails to the township, we know that they are not supportive and would veto the Kroger plan. Quoted from their communications, quote, "Our review of their proposed plans indicates a redevelopment of the Sears parcel that is best for Kroger, but is possibly not the best configuration for the redevelopment of the overall mall property. This is not unexpected as they have planned their project before a unifying vision has been developed. But Hall Properties is not participating in the township driven exercise, which is really to spend $1 million, starting with $300,000, just basically pissing money away. Hall Properties is not even participating within that exercise." How bad was the visiting session on October 9th? There was a phone survey thing done during the session that had all these options like walking trails, bike trails, things like that, but nothing about commercial development, office space, medical offices, housing for young people or for seniors. That was all left out of the survey. That's how silly the exercise was. It had no focus on what is the highest and best use of that land that has great frontage along a major interstate. So don't expect anything major to happen at Eastgate Mall literally for years into the future. Hall property is seen as a bottom feeder, and they're just going to sit on it, let it dilapidate more, and then hope to flip it for a profit. And for that Kroger store, well, right now it's a spirit Halloween. Kroger re-upped a 5-year deal on their existing store where they are now doing remodeling. Come to your senses, people. Kroger's play at the mall is mainly defensive to keep Costco and places like that out. At best, what you're going to see at the mall is egotistical politicians looking for photo ops, claiming that they're really doing something other than just wasting your taxpayer dollars.
Have to ask you to leave.